The room was quiet. Not the peaceful kind, but the kind that lingers when something has been left unsaid for too long. He stood near the window, watching the light fall across the floor, holding a small object in his hand. An old watch. Worn. Silent. He had kept it for years. Not because it brought comfort, but because letting it go felt like losing someone all over again. And deep down, he always felt something about that day had never fully made sense. He never said this out loud. He never questioned anyone, because the story had already been given to him. An accident. Unavoidable. Tragic. The kind of explanation families offer when they believe silence is safer than truth. So he learned to live with it. Time passed. Life moved forward in ways that looked normal from the outside. Work, responsibilities, routines. But certain moments never moved at all. Quiet evenings, empty rooms, the sound of that watch resting in a drawer. He never talked about that day, not because it hurt too much, but because no one else ever did, until one afternoon, years later. A message appeared on his phone. A family gathering. Nothing urgent, they said. Just time together. He hesitated before replying, then agreed. The house felt smaller than he remembered. The furniture had changed. The faces had aged. But the silence felt exactly the same. They spoke about ordinary things at first. Weather. Work. Children. Then someone mentioned the accident. Not directly, just a detail. A time that didn't match. A place that felt slightly off. He didn't interrupt. He waited. Later, when he asked about it quietly, the room shifted. Eyes avoided his. Sentences ended early. Someone said they might be misremembering. Another changed the subject. That night, when he returned home, he opened the drawer again. The watch rested there, unchanged. For the first time, it no longer felt like memory. It felt like a question. A few days later, he spoke with someone who hadn't been there that day. Someone outside the family. He mentioned the accident casually, without expectation. The response came after a pause. They were afraid, the person said. They thought it would be better if you didn't know everything. The words stayed with him. Better for whom? When he asked his family again, there was no anger in his voice, only fatigue. That was when the truth began to surface. Not all at once, in fragments. They admitted they hadn't told him everything, that certain details were intentionally left out, that the accident wasn't exactly how he had been told. They said they were afraid. Afraid the truth would destroy him. Afraid he would blame himself. Afraid they would lose him too. So they chose silence. Years passed while he lived inside a story that wasn't false, only incomplete. When the full truth finally settled in, there was no explosion, no raised voices, only weight, because the pain wasn't learning what had happened. It was realizing how long he had lived without knowing, how many nights he had mourned without understanding, how many moments he had blamed fate for something that had a name. That evening he stood by the window again. The watch rested in his palm. Nothing about the past had changed. The loss was still real, but now the silence had context. Some families believe love means protection. They hide truths hoping time will soften the pain. But time doesn't erase what's missing. It only teaches you how to live around it. His family never told him the truth, and when they finally did, he realized the hardest part wasn't what happened that day. It was all the years spent grieving without knowing why. The watch never changed. Only the story did.